Australia is a great country to live in. We have the 13th largest economy in the world, we're second in human development, and our major urban centres frequently feature on lists of the world's most livable cities.
We are also host to an incredible range of native flora and fauna and benefit from a thriving tourism industry as a result.
Wouldn't it be sad to see all of that fade away? Well, it is. But that's why we've got to start taking steps today to make sure we can enjoy Australia tomorrow.
Climate change is happening and it's here right now.
National records of Australia's climate have been monitored since 1910, and over this time, global warming has seen a shift in Australia's climate.
Heat waves have grown in intensity, length and frequency since the second half of the 20th century.
While rainfall has dropped in the southwest and southeastern corners of our nation since the 1990s.
The sea surface temperature of Australia's waters has risen, as have the sea levels.
Australia only contributes to less than 2% of the world's carbon dioxide emissions, but per capita our emissions level is 11th worldwide.
Not to mention nearly 2/3 of our electricity comes from coal, a popular but damaging fossil fuel.
And despite the natural resources on offer such as solar, hydro and wind power, renewable energy makes up only 13% of our energy production.
If we continue to stand here and watch, our country will suffer.
Fortunately, the Government of Australia are prepared to contribute and help fight global warming and climate change.
Australia recently added its name to the Paris Agreement, an international treaty which aims to see the damage caused as a result of climate change minimalised.
Key goals of the Paris Agreement include adaptation to the changes brought by climate change and lowering the global average temperature to a pre-industrial level.
As part of the agreement, the federal government and the Department of the Environment have announced their emissions reduction target for 2030.
Our target is to have emissions levels in 2030 that are around 25% lower than those of 2005.
We are currently on track to meet our 2020 emissions reduction target of being 5% below the levels from the year 2000 and look forward to seeing a similar outcome in 14 years' time.
Last year, the government announced the National Climate Resilience and Adaptation Strategy, the latest in a long line of government organisations and schemes designed to protect and maintain our ecosystems and way of life.
This strategy concedes the permanent damage already done by climate change and categorises projects into two clear approaches.
Climate change mitigation concerns projects such as renewable energy, which stand to minimise greenhouse gas emissions by replacing older methods of energy production.
And climate change adaptation is about stopping the damage already done by global warming and trying to reduce further damage.
The strategy is involved in a range of sectors pertaining to the Australian environment, including our coast and water supply, our big cities, our farms and our forests.
As part of the strategy, the Bureau of Meteorology will be working to improve their capability in identifying extreme weather and incoming natural disasters.
As temperatures and sea levels rise, the risk of both droughts and flooding across the nation also rise.
Dry conditions lead to longer fire danger seasons and an increased risk of bushfires.
Natural disasters threaten the well-being of the Australian landscape and those who call it home.
The effects of climate change on Australia's ecosystem aren't just damaging for us, but for the lucrative tourism market.
Notably, coral bleaching in the Great Barrier Reef, one of the natural wonders of the world, now affects 90% of the reef annually, and higher temperatures would only see further bleaching in the area.
Rising temperatures are also predicted to threaten the Kakadu National Park and the survival of species such as blowerbirds and butterflies.
Warmer, drier conditions will see rivers such as the Murray-Darling system suffer on a more regular basis.
We love Australia and we want to share it with the world.
If we don't do something to slow or stop carbon emissions and lower our environmental impact, there might not be much left for anyone to enjoy.
Our nation's reliance on coal and our reluctance to embrace renewable energy sources is currently speaking for itself, but it doesn't have to be this way.
We get it pretty good here in Australia and would like to see the future generations have it even better.